Hi, my name's Brett Bumeter, at Brett Bum on YouTube or on Twitter, and I'm here with Warren Whitlock, at Warren Whitlock, of ProfitableSocialMedia.com.
Hi, glad to be with you. So we're talking about magazine themes. This is a subject that we both have some experience with, but I particularly think that the future is less of paper magazines and more of what, not just a magazine represented online with the pictures of the magazine pages, but this new form of the theme. So tell us about what you're doing with magazine themes and the widgets.
Sure. So just to be clear for everybody too, take that one step further. We're going to specifically talk about a magazine, physical magazine company that we've worked with to help move them onto a magazine theme on a site powered by WordPress. So magazines on magazine themes, and this, a lot of this was, benchmarked, or the ground has been broken by the Huffington Post, which uses a magazine-style theme on their own site. And the whole concept of a magazine-style theme is it's something where, as a person comes to the site, as they're reading through the article that they're reading, there will be lots of other attempts to draw their eye to another article, related video, interesting picture, whatever, so that they'll click it, go to another page, and then go to another page and another page, and they'll always be able to scroll and find something that eventually will capture their interest, keep them on the site before they actually click away and go to some other site. So they'll get a few page views out of every visitor.
And you usually know you're on Huffington Post when you're on Huffington Post. There are other sites that look like it, but they have their attempt to be different. So that's the basics of a magazine theme. So what have you done to make that easy for us to use?
So in the example I'm going to kind of walk through in a second, it's a company called VivMag, Viv Magazine, at vivmag.com, and we converted their site from a multi-user install of WordPress into a single install, which is kind of contrary to the trend. We simplified the site essentially, but we built it on a new magazine theme. It wasn't previously on a magazine theme. It was more built on a very complex WordPress theme. A lot of good design in it, but it was very complex and not easy to manage. And we wanted to put them onto a magazine theme that displayed lots of information for that particular site in all the different subsections. So style and beauty sections, health and living, cooking, recipe sections, and giveaways and things like that that you might find in a style magazine. Well, each section of the site essentially functions as a sub-magazine theme style theme. So the homepage is typically where a magazine theme comes into play, and you get lots of different ways to display chunks of information to show people how to find whatever area it is they're looking for on the site. You're probably familiar, the Huffington Post is a popular example. So, you go to the Huffington Post homepage for, the people that might do that, and you'll see, U.S. politics, local politics, celebrity stuff, entertainment, sports, etc. Somewhere on the site, you're going to have different subsections on that site. Well, what we've done is we've taken the subsections and given them their own homepage that also has a subsection breakdown. And all of those areas in WordPress are widgetized, meaning a novice, an editor who knows their stuff when it comes to editing a magazine and moving copy around, can easily drag and drop different chunks of content, sections of content into different widgets to power their sub-homepages, their subsection homepages throughout the site. Does that sound like a lot of gobbledygook?
I'd like to see it. You got something to show us?
Sure. So let's attempt to do a screen share real quick here in Google Hangouts, and we'll pull up this kind of working example. So I'm going to switch over. And typically, the first time I do screen share, it doesn't always find the browser window. So let me try this a second. Here we come. I'm learning the trick to this screen share. The first time you hit the button in Google Hangouts, it won't find what you're looking for. You have to do it 2 or 3 times before it actually finds it. So can you see the VivMag site here?
Sure.
Okay, so this is vivmag.com. And as we come into the home page, basically I'm going to scroll through it a little bit. We've got kind of a slider at the top, and then we see these little sections in here for their blog, the beauty section, healthy eating section, some moments where they feature stories about readers that have submitted their own articles, a fitness section, a style section, and more. And basically, the goal of the homepage is to display kind of the breadth of all the things that they cover on the site and give someone something that they might be looking for in a visually appealing way. Images are used here to draw people in and get them doing something on the website. Alternatively, if they want to use the menu to navigate directly to one of those sections, or if they click on any one of those sections down below, it will take them to what I kind of loosely call a sub-section homepage. And so here's the fitness section, and it leads into a magazine theme as well. This magazine theme for each of these subsections mimics the homepage, and these are all built on StudioPress themes, the actual magazine theme from StudioPress, which only has a magazine theme styling for the homepage, not all these subsections. These can be powered, in this case, by categories if we choose, but it's actually a page. And the goal is, as people scroll through it, hopefully they'll find some image, some title that appeals to them, and they'll start clicking through. And I'll show a couple more examples of these subsection homepages. So lots of different things going on here. The giveaway sections, the recipe sections are very popular areas. Lots of great pictures are being utilized here to help draw people in, entice them into the subjects that are being covered. So I'm going to switch back out of Google Hangouts or out of screen share again.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the concept, is showing a lot of complex information on a magazine theme, but doing it with WordPress's inherent widgetized capability. So when you build out a category of topics, you can easily set up this subsection page with that category, and maybe the subcategories as well, featured in their own little vignettes on that subsection homepage, and you can do it all just dragging and dropping stuff around, which makes life very easy for what becomes the online magazine theme copy editor's job of, what do I put on that page to make it good?
We know curation becomes more and more important, and that and while blogs got big by being able to have a feed of every piece that came out in reverse chronological order, today people are looking for, I know from social media, we point to a deep link into a particular article, and you need to be able to navigate in and find something else. But very seldom, I can't think of the last time I went to a Huffington Post kind of site and actually tried to read all of the articles they had in reverse chronological order. This curation becomes ultra important. The other thing I noticed is that the top blogs are not one author writing a blog anymore. They're all collaborations, because these teams can then build a much bigger audience and find monetization or do whatever.
Definitely, and so there's lots of different ways to slice and dice what might be displayed in these widgetized areas. You could have a subsection page where 3 articles from a given author are displayed at the top left, 3 articles from a different author top right, the next 3 articles from the next top author below that, maybe 2 from the one below that, 2 below that, and then maybe you switch into a subcategory that's just the most recent articles in that subcategory, and then you switch to another section below that with the top 2 or 3 videos in that section. If you benchmark off of the way that Huffington Post lays it out with their copy, they're always moving back and forth from great-looking pictures to headlines to get your attention, to videos, to pictures, to titles, to headlines, to ads. They're inserting things in there that will monetize the site as well, make them money, because it's partly about ad views and CPM, and it's partly about conversion. Right.
Yeah. If you think about it, go back 100 years, and the average newspaper didn't have photos and had some headlines and not a whole lot of changes in the type. And then they got better at that, at doing things to draw attention. I think blogs are going to go through that same evolution. So to go that direction, this is the way to do it. And the tools used for this is what?
So there's a couple things here. I'm going to cover the actual tools in a separate video in the future. So if you're watching or you come across this, check out my channel on YouTube, Brett Bum. It will be coming in a few days. There's a combination of taking the magazine theme from StudioPress and building it out to the nth degree, but using some tools that really any developer designer for WordPress could use. A novice might even be able to pull it off. Once I get the videos done, we'll have to see how good my tutorials are when that comes around. But a lot can be done here, and you know, it's, as you mentioned, we tend to evolve into this. So you start writing a blog, maybe you started writing something a couple years ago, and you start with one category, then you got 3 categories, and then you got 30 categories because you went overboard with the categories. And then you start organizing things a little bit, and you've got a few subcategories for those categories. And then 2 years later, you've got 12 main categories, each with 10 to 20 subcategories in each of them, and you're getting guest authored articles from other writers as well, and the site's starting to grow out. If you were to read that in reverse chronological order, you'd never find anything from the homepage. So this allows you to start focusing in on the important things, giving those important things more emphasis and attention that they might deserve on these subsection homepages. You can do a lot of SEO work as well on those subsection homepages to build them out. They begin to have their own purpose within different areas of the site, and it can really hold people on your site. We've seen some amazing results on the VivMag site. I'm not going to go into stats terribly deep, but we more than doubled the page views, and I think more importantly, we dropped the bounce rate from high double digits down to the teens. We went from the 60, 70, 80 percentile for bounce rates down to 7, 8, spiking to 12 or 13%. Huge drops in bounce rate. Which basically means people were finding articles in search before. They come and read an article, and when they're done with the article, they didn't know where to go to on the site next, and they left. They bounced away. In this case, they're reading an article, they're going to the next article, and they're going to another article and another article after that. And so we're getting a lot more mileage out of the people that come to the site, and that's going to be good for lots of different things in the future.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of that's been done with what's the related post and most popular post and things like that. But when you try to do that just through automation on a regular blog, there's a limit to what it can do. Using those tools, using the analytics, and adding these curation tools to it has got to be the way to go. Thanks a lot for that.
Thank
Super
you.
magazine theme.
Very good. Well, thanks again, and again, anybody that's watching this, check out at Warren Whitlock, profitablesocialmedia.com, on Twitter at Warren Whitlock, or myself at Brett Bum on YouTube or Twitter. My company is softwit.com, and we will be talking to you again in future videos.